What's up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Peter, this is Unexceptional Tech, and today we are going to be talking about my drop shift keyboard and how it is possibly the quietest drop shift keyboard, if not drop keyboard, ever. So like I said in the intro, we're going to be talking about my drop shift keyboard and the couple things that I have done to it and changed the keyboard completely. So if you remember a couple weeks back, I did a review on it, and needless to say, it was a loud keyboard. So as you can see, yeah, stock, it's pretty loud. The stabilizers are loud, the keyboard itself is loud, and I don't really like loud keyboards. So I took it upon myself to change that, basically. And I did a couple things. I swapped out the switches, swapped out the stabilizers, and added some case foam, and it has changed the sound of the keyboard completely. I'll dive into it a little more what I did. So the stock switches that come with the drop shift are the Halo True switches. You can get Halo True or Halo Clears. I picked Halo True. They're not a bad switch, but they are kind of loud. So the first thing that I did was I purchased some silent switches. I purchased the Boba U4 switches, which I did a video on, and I swapped those into the keyboard. So not only did I swap them into the keyboard, I also took it upon myself to lube the switches. Now here's the thing between Boba switches that are lubed and unlubed. Honestly, the sound difference is it's not a huge difference. The reason I did it was for the feel. It's a little smoother when you lube them versus when they're stock, but the thing with these switches is that even stock, they're very smooth. So if you are picking up these switches, you really don't need to lube them. You don't need to waste your time lubing them. I'm telling you, because I know you can lube them if you want, but you don't have to, which is the really nice thing about these switches. The sound difference between Halo Trues and the Bobas is night and day. After swapping out the switches, the next thing were the stabilizers. And the stabilizers on drop keyboards are notoriously bad. I don't know why, they just are. I picked up a pair of plate mount stabilizers from Novel Keys because that's the kind of stabilizers that these keyboards use. And so what I did was I lubed the stabilizers and the wires, and I put them in the keyboard. Obviously I didn't band-aid mod them because honestly the fit was pretty tight anyways, and there wasn't really any rattle. And swapping out the stabilizers made a huge difference also. And I know I said it before about the switches, but the stabilizers were more annoying than the stock switches were because they rattled like crazy, and it drove me crazy. So if you have a drop keyboard, one of the first things that I would recommend is switch out the stabilizers. Pick up some good stabilizers from Novel Keys and lube them up, swap them out, and I guarantee you'll be so much happier than what you have stock in the keyboard. And then finally, the last thing I did to the keyboard, which honestly doesn't really need to be done, but I did it. I guess it's a preference kind of thing. So what I did was on stream, where I lubed the switches and I lubed the stabs and I did all this. This is all on stream, by the way. I also installed EVA foam inside the case. So usually why you would install foam inside of a case is to get rid of like the hollowness of a case and make it so that way it doesn't sound like pingy and stuff like that. So honestly, the drop keyboards, especially like not the high profile ones but the stock ones, they don't really have much pinginess. I wanted to do it because I wanted to see if there was going to be any difference. This is one of those things where you don't really have to do it because there's really not much of a difference between, having foam in the case and having foam and not having foam. It is a tight fit. I will say that it is a very tight fit. there's not much space in the case. So it is quite a tight fit. You don't really need to do it. If you want to do it, you can. I do know that Stupid Fish came out with pre-cut EVA foam for this keyboard. So if you want to do it like that, I recommend do that. Because if not, then you're going to have to cut out the holes yourself. So, preference, again, like I said. But either way, it doesn't really make that much of a difference. Like I mentioned before, I did all this live on stream. If you don't know, I live stream on Twitch. And if you want to give it a follow, because I will be doing more keyboard stuff soon. So keep an eye out for that. So if you want to follow, the link for that is down in the description below. So, I've been talking about the keyboard. All the stuff, all the changes that I made, how does it sound? In my opinion, it sounds great. So let me get everything set up. I'm gonna do a typing test, and you can see for yourself. So, what do you guys think? Do you think that I'm crazy? Do you agree with me? I think the difference is honestly night and day. I think it is a great sounding keyboard, even though it's quiet. Riddle me that, Batman. And it types very nicely. It sounds good, it's comfortable, it's just great in my opinion. The only thing that I would like to change on the keyboard is the keycap set. I haven't really found a keycap set that I really want yet, but the search continues. So like I said before, let me know what you think down in the comments below. And that's it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.